everyone, it's Jacob again for another MidPointe Maker, and today we're going to do a super easy craft that you can do at home with pretty much stuff that you probably already have in the kitchen or can grab on a quick trip to your grocery store. And we're going to be making DIY Kool-Aid lip balm. The best thing about this is that it only requires 4 ingredients. In here, I have about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. You'll notice that it's not completely melted. I put it in the microwave from its solid state for about 15 seconds. You're gonna want to make sure it's not totally a liquid, but still kind of running. I probably could have just done 10 seconds, but we'll see how this works. I also have some water from the tap. I have a little bit of sugar and some Kool-Aid packets. So, the first thing that I'm going to do is open up one of my Kool-Aid packets. And I'm gonna pour it into this cup. Then, let me get this open. I'm going to be adding my sugar. Now, to make this at home, you're gonna want about 1 teaspoon of sugar is about how much I have in here at this point. So add that on in. That's just going to make your lip balm a little bit sweeter. You can use a little bit more, a little bit less. All of that is just up to your personal opinion. And then we're gonna get to the water. This in here is way too much water. What you're going to want to do instead is just add a little bit at a time until you make a paste. The paste is what you're going to be mixing into the coconut oil, so you don't want it to be too runny. A little bit thick because the coconut oil is still going to thin it out a little bit more. So let's start by adding in just a little bit. Flavor I used for this one was the blue raspberry lemonade because I really wanted a cool blue color. And then you can use a whisk. I forgot to bring my whisk into the library, so instead I'm gonna be using this paint stick. Mix it up as you go. You're gonna get a very cool, vibrant color in here. Let's see, that's looking pretty good. So then take this, pour it in with your coconut oil. Try and get as much of the sugar as you can out. That's going to give it its flavor, and it's going to be giving it its really great color. So once you have all that added in to the coconut oil, you're gonna mix this, and you are gonna wanna mix this as hard as you can. In fact, give me a second. I'm gonna put this in a different cup. Pour it on into here. And then just really go and making sure that this all comes together as a homogeneous thing. You cannot really go around and whisk it enough. The more it is mixed together, the better your end result is going to be. Oh no! I'm making a bit of a mess, y'all. All right, a little bit more. Now, this is my favorite recipe for the DIY Kool-Aid lip balm. I like it because the coconut oil just feels a little bit better on my lips, and of course, who doesn't love the flavor of Kool-Aid? If you're not up for it, if you want even fewer ingredients rather than the 4 that we used here, there are a bunch of ingredients online and some how-tos that you might be able to find for petroleum jelly mixed with Kool-Aid. It's not my all-time favorite recipe, but if that sounds more up your alley, or maybe you're allergic to coconuts, that's definitely an option that you could go for as well. All right, we got this mixed up. Hoop. Set this over here. And these are some lip balm things that I had already here at the library. They're really nice. You can open them up, put your lip balm in them, and seal them back up. You probably do not have this hanging out at home, but what you might have could be, and if you already use lip gloss, an empty EOS container. or maybe you had some lip gloss and you've used it all up, you can just fill up that tube a second time, toss it in the fridge, and then it'll harden. You'll have a whole bunch of brand new lip gloss. You could also always use any type of small container. You're gonna wanna be able to put a lid on it so it doesn't get gross, but anything like that will be totally great for your purposes. So then we're very carefully, and by carefully I mean pouring over something, Jacob, so I do not make a mess. I'm gonna pour this back in here. And then we're gonna close it up. Now this one I made a little bit too runny. Let's, for the next one, go a little bit less runny. So it's sealed up. That's gonna be my blue one. I do have some extra stuff here, so I'm gonna put that in a second one so I can make a little bit more of my blue raspberry lemonade one. And I'm gonna be right back with some more coconut oil so I can make a cherry one. Be right back. All right, and we are back. I got 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. This one was only warm for 10 seconds. You can see how quick this melts. The last one was 15 seconds. It was fairly melty. This one was just 10 on the microwave, and it's still solid, but you can see there's already a lot of liquid in there. And next up, I have my 1 teaspoon of sugar that I'm gonna use, a cup to mix in, my water, and my Kool-Aid packet. This one's gonna be cherry. It's not my favorite flavor, but it is my wife's favorite flavor. So let's mix this in. Pour that in. Add in your sugar to make it sweet. Little bit of water. And then let's go and stir this up. Remember, what we want to come out with here is a paste. Oh yeah, that is dark, it is thick, it's a little bit runny, but not as much as our blue raspberry lemonade was. So now let's take this super dark red, and we're gonna pour the hat into our coconut oil. Now, much like last time, I'm gonna take all this, pour it right back into this cup. It's gonna be a little bit easier for me to mix in there. I guess in the grand scheme of things, I probably could have just left it in the cup and added the coconut oil. When you make this at home, I highly recommend doing that instead of doing what I just did. So here comes the step. We want to make sure we whisk this as hard as we can. Now, reason you want to whisk so hard is not only does it fully incorporate all of the flavors, but it's also going to make sure you have a much smoother final product. This one, the blue raspberry that we just made a couple minutes ago, is already starting to set, but if you look very closely in the hair, you can see there's kind of some white spots. That's where the coconut oil wasn't mixed well enough. So that's going to be separate, and when I have my lip balm, that is going to be 1, not very flavored, and 2, just not look as cool. Because the one thing I love about this lip balm recipe is once it is done, it looks so cool. Mix this a little bit more. Again, this is where a kitchen whisk comes in handy. And the thing that makes it easy to use the kitchen whisk for this is that at the end of the day, it's Kool-Aid, it's sugar, it's water, it's coconut oil. You have nothing to worry about messing up your spatula. Not spatula, whisker, I'm sorry. Whisk, I'm sorry about that. Just rinse it off, toss it in the sink, it's all good. All right, that is as good as I think I'm going to whisk this with my stick. So, take this out. Grab me one of these. And again, there are so many different options that you can fill up at home. Just make sure it has a lid that you can secure. And preferably make it a little bit small so you can take it around with you. Get yourself poured up. Seal this bad boy. And then toss them in the fridge. Once the coconut oil solidifies back up, you're gonna be good to go. Hope you make this at home. Tell me how great it comes out. They taste as good as they look. Y'all have a great day. Till next time. Bye.